If you are playing the winger position, one of the biggest gift that was given to you is the space. And because you were giving this gift, the space on the sideline, you have to use it and you have to utilize it. Because one of the common reasons that many players wants to play the winger position is because of the space that you get on the sideline. Because generally the defending opposition is gonna force the ball to go wide to you or to your fullback. But of course, when we find the space, we don't want to lose it to your teammate. First, let's talk about how you can utilize this touchline. When you should be there and when you should be cutting inside. You're gonna play with different types of fullbacks behind you. This is gonna play a huge role on what kind of a winger you're gonna be. Because sometimes fullbacks, especially if they are fast and decent at dribbling, they're gonna wanna come and use the space and take that space from you. You have to cut inside when this is the case to allow them to utilize the space. Because now when you cut inside, you're not only creating a space for you, you're creating a space for your teammate as well. Or when you cut inside, now you're making your center mid's job much easier for them to receive the ball because you're kind of taking the pressure off from them. If you have an eager fullback who's fast, who's good at dribbling, you want to give that space to them. You want to come back inside and get yourself into the dangerous zones, which is near the opposition's 18. Because that's where I want my wingers to have the ball. You can do whatever you want, take as much responsibility and risks to change the way the game goes. Because if I want you to dribble in the middle of the field, now I can't find you where I need you the most. So now we understood when you should be wide, when you should be tucking inside. Now we're gonna learn how to read the opposition's defensive formation. Tactically speaking, if you're playing against a team who has 5 in the back, means that they are 3 center backs plus the wing backs. This is gonna be much more challenging for you to have the space outside. So you're gonna have to almost play like inverted wingers, or I should say wide attacking midfielder position. But if you're playing against a team who has 4 in the back, your job is a bit easier for you to find the ball out wide. Because now they are missing that extra player plays that wing back position. So then it's better for you to stay a bit wider when you're playing against a team who has 4 in the back. The next step to master the winger position, you have to create opportunities for you to score. And this is what kind of separates an excellent winger versus an average winger. And your movement off the ball to create yourself opportunities to score as a winger will really depend on your striker as well. Because if your striker is the kind of tall striker that likes to drop to receive the ball and play it back, this is perfect opportunity for you to time your runs in behind the opposition. Because a good winger must have the ability to be able to time their runs perfectly. But if your striker is one of those strikers, instead of coming forward, they turn back and makes the run in behind. Now this is a perfect opportunity for you to tuck inside and receive the ball more centrally. Because your striker will occupy the opposition's center backs and potentially the full backs as well. And you can't ask anything better from your striker if you want to come central, receive the ball. This is exactly when being able to use left foot as good as your right foot comes into play. Because when you tuck inside to receive the ball, and if you're playing a right-footed right winger position, you're gonna have to use your left foot to whether to assist or to take shots from a distance. And if you are one-footed winger, I recommend you to play on the opposite side of your dominant foot. So if you're right-footed, play on the left side so you can cut inside and always end up on your strong foot. And if you are playing the traditional winger position, you're gonna wanna have some speed. You're gonna have to use your quick feet to dribble around the opposition, tuck inside and take a shot. You're gonna have to know when to play simple, when to take risks, which comes with you being excellent, just simple passes. So you can release the ball and get yourself into a better position to receive the ball. You can't be one-sided player. You can't only be good at dribbling. Your passing has to be outstanding because there are some wingers out there, even playing at the pro level and really high level wingers, they are really good at dribbling, they are really good at taking the ball inside, but they are not good at finishing or they are not good at passing. When it comes to mastering the winger position, you have to attack with confidence. So your decision-making ability has to be outstanding. Not just you can make early decisions, but at the same time make the right decisions as a winger. One of the best and most important decisions that you can make as a winger is to make early decisions, whether if you're gonna take risk or if you're gonna play simple. You have the option to take more risks when you are near the opposition 18. So your early decision should be to play simple central, take more risks when you are near the opposition's 18. The first decision you make is always the better decision, because the first decision comes quick. And you're gonna have to make quick decisions, whether if you're gonna take a shot quick or if you're gonna pass quick, because you won't get the initial pressure from the opposition unless you're playing against 5 in the back. Otherwise, you're gonna have tons of space initially. So when you first get the ball, yes, you're gonna get the ball, you're gonna be able to turn around and you're gonna see what's going on the pitch. But after you receive the ball, you're gonna get that pressure from the opposition. And you're gonna have to come up with solutions like body feints or faking the opposition to eliminate them. It all comes with how good your ball control is. Because if your initial ball control is terrible, now you're gonna invite more pressure. And if your first control is bad, opposition observes this and now they're gonna put constant pressure on you by blocking your other teammates so that ball it always gets to you. So you gotta do everything you can to improve your first touch. Because your ball control will determine how your exit and your next move is gonna be. We get to the most boring part about playing the winger position, which is your defensive responsibilities. First, you have to track back. Just because you're playing the winger position where you have more space, where you can take more risks, doesn't mean that you don't have to track back. Don't watch players like Vinny Jr. that doesn't track back as much. But you as a winger, trust me, must track back to support your team's defense, especially after you lose a possession. Your main goal when it comes to defending as a winger should be to get yourself in behind the ball. So you are facing the opposition's net and you're facing the opposition who has the ball. Do everything you can to track back, to throw yourself in between the opposition that has the ball and your own net. So you're not allowing them to make easy decision. You're closing those central channels, potentially forcing the opposition wide, not allowing them to find easy passing options. This comes with what your coach wants from you. But generally speaking, a good coach will always want to close the central gaps so the opposition is forced to go outside and they are not finding easy passing options in the middle. This is when the opposition already transitioned from defending to attacking. So they have the ball and they passed your half. You hustled, you got back and you are in between the opposition and your own net. Ideally, your coach will want you to close the central channels. This most likely happens with teams that are playing a mid block or low block. So you're either defending in your own half or you are in the 2/3 of the field and you're putting slight pressure but not quite until the opposition gets to you. But if you are high pressing, now this kind of changes a little bit. Ideally, what happens is if your center backs are too deep and they didn't support higher, there is this massive gap when you're high pressing in between you and your center back. It's gonna be a lot tougher for you to close these channels. So your main goal when you're high pressing is to obviously to win the ball or not allow the opposition to go central. Basically, when you're high pressing, you're kind of being patient and waiting for opposition to make small mistakes, like first touch mistakes or passing mistakes. If you ask me how many times this happens, not a lot, most likely. The teams don't like to press really high unless your defensive line and your midfield are high up and supporting you. But again, this is not something up to you, this is something up to your coach, and you have to discuss with your coaches to figure out what your coach actually wants from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe to my channel with the notifications on. You can also find my playlist right over here. Thanks for tuning in and I will see you next time.